other with what type of bonds and the presence of any charges. Structural formulae, plural of structural formula. Structural formulas, plural of structural formula. Structural integrities, plural of structural integrity. Structural integrity, the ability of a structure or component to resist breakage or excess deformation when subject to a load. Structural isomer, any of a number of compounds that exhibit structural isomerism. Structural isomerism, a form of isomerism in which the same atoms are arranged in different orders, either having the same or different functional groups. Structural isomerisms, plural of structural isomerism. Structural isomers, plural of structural isomer. Structural pattern, a design pattern that makes it easier to create relationships between entities. Structural patterns, plural of structural pattern. Structural polysaccharide, any polysaccharide that serves to supply stiffness to a plant, typically cellulose or insect, etc., typically chitin. Structural polysaccharides, plural of structural polysaccharide. Structural research, a field of research and analysis in architecture that uses studies and details from nature or other sources to produce or create a new structure. It is used in design and architecture to imitate structures and improve them, giving them a certain amount of art feeling. Structural research can be also called structural art or structural design. Structural science, any discipline that describes the general, universal structures of the real world. Structural sciences, plural of structural science. Structural steel, any form of steel used for making construction materials. Structural steels, plural of structural steel. Structural unemployment, a type of unemployment explained by a mismatch between the requirements of the employers and the properties such as skills, age, gender, or location of the unemployed. Structural functional, of or relating to structural functionalism. Structuralization, alternative form of structuralization. Structuralizations, plural of structuralization. Structuralize, alternative spelling of structuralize. Structuralize, simple past and past participle of structuralize. Structuralizes, third person singular simple present indicative of structuralize. Structuralizing, present participle and gerund of structuralize. Structuralism, a theory of sociology that views elements of society as part of a cohesive, self-supporting structure. Structuralisms, plural of structuralism. Structuralists, of or pertaining to structuralism. Structuralistic, of or pertaining to structuralism. Structuralistically, in a structuralistic manner or context. Structuralists, plural of structuralists. Structuralities, plural of structurality. Structurality, the qualities or types of the structure or structures an object possesses. Structuralizable, that can be structuralized. Structuralization, the process or result of structuralizing, the giving of structure to something. Structuralizations, plural of structuralization. Structuralize, to give structure to assimilate into a structural framework. Structuralize, simple past and past participle of structuralize. Structuralizes, third person singular simple present indicative of structuralize. Structuralizing, present participle and gerund of structuralize. Structurally. In terms of structure. Structurals. Plural of structural. Structuration. A theory proposed by Anthony Giddens in an attempt to reconcile theoretical dichotomies of social systems such as agency/structure, subjective/objective, and micro/macro perspectives. Structurational. Of or relating to structuration. Structurationally. In terms of structuration. Structurationist. A proponent of the theory of structuration. Structurationists. Plural of structurationist. Structurations. Plural of structuration. Structure. A cohesive whole built up of distinct parts. Structure sheaf. The sheaf associated to a ring space. Structure sheaves. Plural of structure sheaf. Structure-activity relationship. The relationship between a molecule's chemical structure and its biological activity. Structure. Having structure, organized. Structured finance. A sector of financial law that manages leverage and risk. Structured illumination. The projection of a grid of lines onto a target in order to obtain information about its structure, typically by analyzing the Fourier transform of the reflected light. Structured illumination microscopy. A form of microscopy that employs structured illumination to observe biological structures smaller than the wavelength of the light used. Structured programming. A style of programming that relies on blocks of code, subroutines, and the absence of simple tests and jumps. Structured wiring. A planned cabling system which systematically lays out the wiring and wire management necessary for communications, including voice, data, and video. Structuredness. The state or condition of being structured. Structureless. Lacking structure. Structurelessly. In a structureless way, without structure. Structurelessness. The state or condition of being structureless, lack of structure. Structurally. In terms of structure, structurally. Structurer. Someone who designs structured products. Structurers. Plural of structurer. Structures. Plural of structure. Structuring. Structure, organization. Structurings. Plural of structuring. Structurist. One who forms structures, a builder, a constructor. Structurists. Plural of structurists. Structurization. The act of structurizing. Structurizations. Plural of structurization. Structurize. To impose a structure upon something. Structurize. Simple past and past participle of structurize. Structurizes. Third person singular simple present indicative of structurize. Structurizing. Present participle and gerund of structurize. Structurome. All the various structures taken by nucleic acids in a cell. Structuromes. Plural of structurome. Strudel. A pastry made from multiple thin layers of dough rolled up and filled with fruit, etc. Strudels. Plural of strudel. Estradwe. A surname from Old English. Estradwex. Plural of Stradwe. Irur. A town and municipality in west-central Jutland, Denmark. The municipality includes the island of Vino. Isurasol. A surname. Struveri. Alternative form of Struverite. Struda. A city in southwestern North Macedonia. Strugrari. A commune Bacău County, Romania. Straddle, a contortion of the body in an attempt to escape or to perform a difficult task. Struggle bus, a difficult situation. Struggle buses, plural of struggle bus. Struggle kid, a Namibian who grew up in exile during the Namibian War of Independence. Struggle kids, plural of struggle kid. Struggle meal, a cheap and easy to make meal made from random ingredients, usually eaten by poor college students. Struggle session, a form of public humiliation used by China in the Maoist period to shape public opinion and to humiliate or persecute political rivals. Struggle sessions, plural of struggle session. Struggle buggies, plural of struggle buggy. Struggle buggy, an old or beat-up motor vehicle. Struggled, simple past and past participle of struggle. Struggleful, full of struggle, difficult, hard. Struggleism, a doctrine or philosophy based around struggle or conflict. Straddleless, without struggle, easy, unburdensome, unwearisome. Struggler, one who struggles. Strugglers, plural of struggler. Struggles, plural of struggle. Strugglesome, characterized or marked by struggling. Struggleless, second person singular simple present indicative of struggle. Strugolf, third person singular simple present indicative of struggle. Struggle, pronunciation spelling of struggling. Struggling, present participle and gerund of struggle. Strugglingly, in a struggling way. Strugglings, plural of struggling. Struggle, involving a struggle, involving hard work. Struhar, a surname. Struhars, plural of struhar. Straldbra, someone or something that is immortal or extremely ancient, but which may have persisted past the point where it should be dead. Straldbra, alternative form of Struldbrug. Struldbrugan, having or relating to an unsatisfactory form of immortality accompanied by aging and disease. Struldbrugs, plural of Struldbrug. Struldbrugs, plural of Struldbrug. Strulovich, a surname. Stro, a surname. Strumbox, synonym of rose box. Strumboxes, plural of strumbox. Istruma, a river in Bulgaria and northern Greece which flows into the Aegean Sea. Strumi, plural of struma. Istrumas, plural of struma. Strumatic, scrofulous. Strumectomies, plural of strumectomy. Strumectomy, removal of a struma. Strumica, a city in southeastern North Macedonia. Strumiferous, bearing strumy or swellings. Strumiform, having the form of a struma. Strumitis, inflammation of the thyroid gland. Shroud, simple past and past participle of strum. Strummel, alternative spelling of strommel straw. Strauer, one who strums a stringed musical instrument. Strummers, plural of strummer. Strumma, third person singular simple present indicative of strum. Strumming, present participle and gerund of strum. strummingly, with a strumming sound or action. Strummings, plural of strumming. Strumme, achieved by strumming. Strumos, suffering from struma scrofula. Strumosis, the production of struma. Strumus, scrofulous. Strumously, in a strumous manner. Strumousness, the state of being strumous, scrofulousness. Strumpet, a female prostitute. Strumpeted, simple past and past participle of strumpet. Strumpeting, present participle and gerund of strumpet. Strumpet-like, resembling or characteristic of a strumpet. Strumpetry, whoredom, prostitution. Strumpets, plural of strumpet. Strumpshaw, a village and civil parish in Broadland District, Norfolk O West Grid Ref TG 3507. Strums, plural of strum. Strumskr, any stringed musical instrument that is played with the fingertips, especially one considered to be foreign. Strumskrums, plural of strumstrum. Strumulos, somewhat strumos or having a small struma. Shrumi, plural of struma. Shra, simple past and past participle of string. Strung along, simple past and past participle of string along. Shrama, simple past and past participle of string on. Shrun out, experiencing withdrawal symptoms of an addiction. Strum together, simple past and past participle of string together. Strun up, simple past and past participle of string up. Strum with, simple past and past participle of string with. Strum out, alternative form of strung out attributive before a noun. Stromda, a village in Oltina, Constanta County, Romania. The Shrek, a surname. Strunkian, of or relating to William Strunk, Jr., or his Elements of Style 1920, a famous prescriptive writing style guide. Struts, plural of strunk. Strut, spirituous liquor, alcoholic drink. Strunted, simple past and past participle of strunt. Strunting, present participle and gerund of strunt. Struntish, alternative form of struntish sullen. Struts, plural of strunt. Strunty, alternative form of stunty sullen. Strundi, a triclinic pinaquidal mineral containing hydrogen, iron, manganese, oxygen, and phosphorus. Strup, a surname from German. Efraps, plural of strup. Edris, a Russian river craft used for transporting freight. Strazes, plural of strus. Stra, of a peacock or other fowl. To stand or walk stiffly with the tail erect and spread out. Strut one's stuff, to behave or perform in a showy or ostentatious manner, as if to impress others, to show off. Isru, alternative spelling of struth. Struthian, of pertaining to, or resembling an ostrich. Struthiform, resembling an ostrich. Turtlehi, any sea snail in a family Struthiolaria. Turtle is plural of Struthiolaria. Struthen, any member of the Struthionidae, an ostrich. Struthenids, plural of Struthianid. Struthaniform, of or relating to the Struthioniforms, an order of birds. Struthius, like an ostrich or other rat-eyed bird. Struthius, like an ostrich or other rat-eyed. Struthonian, a person like an ostrich, someone who ignores facts or reality, or someone who lacks responsibility. Struthonians. Plural of Struthonian. Strutless, without struts. Struts. Plural of strut. Struts one's stuff. Third person singular simple present indicative of strut one's stuff. Strut. A surname. Strutted. Simple past and past participle of strut. Strutted one's stuff. Simple past and past participle of strut one's stuff. Stress. Second person singular simple past indicative of strut. Strutter. Someone who struts. Strutters. Plural of strutter. Estratus. Second person singular simple present indicative of strut. Strut. Third person singular simple present indicative of strut. Strata. Pronunciation spelling of strutting. Strutting. Present participle and gerund of strut. Strutting one's stuff. Present participle and gerund of strut one's stuff. Struttingly, with a strutting motion. Struttings. Plural of strutting. Strut. A surname. Struts. Plural of strut. Strutti. Resembling or moving with a strutting motion. Stutinsky. A surname. Struts. A surname. Strutses. Plural of struts. Shrew. A surname. Shrewvari. A tantalum bang variety of rutile. Shrews. Plural of strew. Struvi. A hydrated magnesium containing mineral Mg and HPO6H2O which is found in kidney stones associated with bacteria that cleave urea. Struvites. Plural of struvi. Straieri. A surname from Italian. Distrairis. Plural of struzeri. Strygud. Alternative form of Strygud. Strygoods. Plural of strygud. Striacosphalid. Any extinct therapsid of the family Styracosphalidea. Striacosphalid's. Plural of striacosphalid. Strychnate. Any salt or ester of strychnic acid. Strychnates. Plural of strychnate. Strychnia. Strychme. Strychnias. Plural of strychnia. Strychne. Of or pertaining to strychnine. Strychnic acid, an aminocarboxylic acid and a rare alkaloid. Strychnic acids. Plural of strychnic acid. Stretchin. Obsolete form of strychnine. Strychme. A very toxic, colorless crystalline alkaloid derived from Nux vomica, used as a pesticide. Strychnine hydrochloride. The highly toxic hydrochloride salt of strychnine C21H22N2O2HCl, formerly used in pharmaceutical formulations or scientific research because it dissolves well in water. Strychnine hydrochlorides. Plural of strychnine hydrochloride. Strychnine tree. Strychnos nux vomica. Strychnine trees. plural of strychnine tree. Strychnenes, plural of strychnine. Strychninism, strychnine poisoning. Strychninization, the process of treating with strychnine. Strychninizations, plural of strychninization. Strychninize, to treat with strychnine. Strychninize, simple past and past participle of strychninize. Strychninizes, third person singular simple present indicative of strychninize. Strychninizing, present participle and gerund of strychninize. Strychnism, alternative form of strychninism. Strychnispermin, the alkaloid 1,12s, 13R16R17s, 18R20s, 8-methoxy, 16-methyl, 15-oxa, 1,11-iaza, exacyclo 15.3.1.0, 412.0, 420.0, 510.0, 13, 18, henicosa, 510, 6-atrine, 11-il ethanon. Stri, obsolete form of stride. Strides, plural of stride. Striding, present participle and gerund of stride. Strife, obsolete spelling of strife. A city, rain, and river in Lviv Oblast in western Ukraine. Stryjapa, a village in Grodno, Belarus. Stryker, a modern, heavy-duty, full-featured gurney, typically heavily padded and having yellow legs. Strikers, plural of striker. Stripe, obsolete form of stripe. Stripes, plural of stripe. Strychnic acid, a supposed nitrogenous acid obtained by the action of acetic acid and potassium nitrite on uric acid, later found to be a mixture of allantoin with oxaluric acid and oxalic acid. Shry, obsolete spelling of strive. Jarzelsk Krajinsky, a town in Lubus Voivodeship, Poland. Jarzelecki, a surname. Jarzelekis, plural of Jarzelecki. Strom syndrome, a rare autosomal recessive genetic disorder characterized by intestinal atresia, eye abnormalities, and microcephaly. S. Initialism of science and technology studies. A. Plural of ST storytellers. S. Plural of Sint. SAS Sales, a First Nations people in the lower mainland of the Canadian province of British Columbia. SAS, plural of Sint. Street, date. SASS, acronym of Space Telescope Science Data Analysis System, software designed for the Hubble telescope. STSIAPAN, a transliteration of the Belarusian male given name Stsyapaa acute NSC Japan. SASA, abbreviation of statesman. AS, plural of SDS. Stsyapan, a transliteration of the Belarusian male given name Stsyapaa acute NSC Japan. SDT, initialism of speech to text. SE, initialism of small business technology transfer. Edu, a diminutive of the male given name Stuart. Edu, alternative form of stew. Stew, or a surname. Stewards, plural of steward. Stewarosporine, misspelling of storosporine. Thur, a Scottish surname originating as an occupation, a variant of Stuart. Sta, something blunted, stunted, or cut short, such as stubble or a stump. Stub axle. An axle supporting only one wheel of a pair on opposite sides of a vehicle. Stub axles, plural of stub axle. Stub end, the enlarged end of a connecting rod to which the strap is fastened. Stub end, plural of stub end. Stub iron, iron made from stub nails or old horseshoe nails, once used in making gun barrels. Stub mortise, a mortise passing only partly through the timber in which it's formed. Stub mortises, plural of stub mortise. Stub nail, an old horseshoe nail, a nail broken off. Stub nails, plural of stub nail. Stub out, to extinguish a cigar, cigarette by crushing the tip. Stub twists, material for a gun barrel, made of a spirally welded ribbon of steel and stub iron combined. Stub-tailed morpho, a butterfly, Morphothecius. Stub-tailed morphos, plural of stub-tailed morpho. Stubber, a variety of apple. Stubbards, plural of stubber. A surname. Stub, simple past and past participle of stub. Stub out, simple past and past participle of stub out. Stubbedness, the quality or state of being stubbed or short and truncated. Stubber, one who or that which stubs. Stubbers, plural of stubber. Stub, plural of stub. Stud, a small beer bottle with a distinctive squat shape, a stubby. Stubby holder, alternative spelling of stubby holder. Stubby holders, plural of stubby holder. Comparative form of stubby, more stubby. Stubbis, plural of stubby. Superlative form of stubby, most stubby. Stubbify, simple past and past participle of stubbify. Stubbifies, third person singular simple present indicative of stubbify. Stubbify, to make something use stubs placeholder procedures. Stubbifying, present participle and gerund of stubbify. Studdily, in a stubby way. Stubbiness, the state or condition of being stubby. Stubbing, present participle and gerund of stub. Stubbing out, present participle and gerund of stub out. Stubbings, a surname. Stubbington, a large village in Fareham Borough, Hampshire, England. OS Grid Ref SU 5503. Stubbingtons, plural of Stubbington. Stubbins, a village in Rossendale Borough, Lancashire, England. OS Grid Ref SD 7918. Stow, short coarse hair, especially on a man's face. Stubble field, a field covered in stubble after harvesting. Stubble fields, plural of stubble field. Stubble geese, plural of stubble goose. Stubble goose, the grey-like. Stubble quail. Coturnix pectoralis, an Australian bird. Stubble quails, plural of stubble quail. Stubble rake, a rake with long teeth for raking stubble together. Stubble rakes, plural of stubble rake. Stubble rash, a rash acquired by kissing someone who has stubble. Stubble rashes, plural of stubble rash. Stubble fed, fed on the natural grass growing among stubble. Stubblefield. Alternative spelling of Stubblefield. Stubblefields. Plural of Stubblefield. Stubbled. Covered in stubble, stubbly. Stubblefield. A surname. Stubblefields. Plural of Stubblefield. Stubbleless. Without facial stubble. Stubbles. Plural of stubble. Stubbler. Toward the stubble. Stubbler. Comparative form of stubbly, more stubbly. Stubbliest. Superlative form of stubbly, most stubbly. Stubbly. Having stubble. Stubber. Refusing to move or to change one's opinion, obstinate, firmly resisting, persistent in doing something. Stubborn as a mule. Extremely stubborn. Stubborn disease. A disease of citrus trees characterized by stunted growth in the shapen fruit caused by Spiroplasma citri. Stubborn up. To become stubborn, to refuse to change one's mind or stance. Stubborn up. Simple past and past participle of stubborn up. Stutterer. Comparative form of stubborn, more stubborn. Stubbornness. Superlative form of stubborn, most stubborn. Stubborning up. Present participle and gerundive stubborn up. Stubbornly. In a stubborn manner. Stubbornness. The state of being stubborn. Stubbornnesses. Plural of stubbornness. Stubborns. Stubbornness. Stubborns up. Third person singular simple present indicative of stubborn up. Stubborn. Misspelling of stubborn. Stubby. Alternative form of stubboy. Stub. A surname. Stub. Abounding with stubs. Stubby holder. An insulating receptacle, often decorated, designed to keep a stubby of beer cold while being drunk in a hot environment. Stubby holders. Plural of stubby holder. Stubby squid. A bobtail squid. Stubby tree. A tree which has been decorated by having empty beer bottles stub is placed onto the tips of its branches. Stubby trees. Plural of stubby tree. Obsolete spelling of stube. Studer. A surname. Studers. Plural of stuber. Stuvich Topless. A municipality of Croatia. Stupefy. Simple past and past participle of stupefy. Stupefies. Third person singular simple present indicative of stupefy. Stupefy. To make something use stubs placeholder procedures. Stupefying. Present participle and gerund of stupefy. Stubless. Without a stub. Stub-like. Resembling or characteristic of a stub, stubby. Studs. Plural of stub. Stubbed out. Third person singular simple present indicative of stub out. Stub thou. Any of the three species of passerine birds in the genus Urosphena, native to Asia. Stubtails. Plural of stubtail. Initialism of Scottish Trades Union Congress, a federation of trade unions in Scotland. Stuffy. Plural of stucco. Stucco. A plaster that is used to coat interior or exterior walls or used for moldings. Stuccoder. A person who applies stucco as an occupation. Stuccoed. Simple past and past participle of stucco. Stuccoer. An artist who works in stucco, stuccoist. Stuccoers. Plural of stuccoer. Stuccos. Plural of stucco. Stuccoing. Present participle and gerund of stucco. Stuccoists. One who applies stucco. Stuccoists. Plural of stuccoists. Stucco-like. Resembling or characteristic of stucco. Stuccos. Plural of stucco. Stuccauer. Work done in stucco. Stuccauerks. Plural of stuccauerk. Stutchery. A surname. Stutchmary. A surname. Stutchley. A surname from Czech. Iva. A surname. Stuck around. Simple past and past participle of stick around. Stuck at. Simple past and past participle of stick at. Stuck by. Simple past and past participle of stick by. Stuck down. Simple past and past participle of stick down. Stuck fat. Simple past and past participle of stick fat. Stuck in a rut. In a settled or repetitive habit or course of action, especially one without a goal or purpose. Stuck in one's ways. Synonym of set in one's ways. Stuck in someone's craw. Simple past and past participle of stick in someone's craw. Stuck in someone's gullet. Simple past and past participle of stick in someone's gullet. Stuck in someone's throat. Simple past and past participle of stick in someone's throat. Stuck in the mud. Stuck, unable to progress. Stuck in the Stone Age. Out of touch with the modern world. Stuck in time. In the same state as in the past, not changed. Stuck it out. Simple past and past participle of stick it out. Stuck it to. Simple past and past participle of stick it to. Stuck it to the man. Simple past and past participle of stick it to the man. Stuck like Chuck. Stuck, immobilized or unable to proceed. Stuck on. Infatuated with, romantically attracted to, in love with. Stuck on oneself. Self-obsessed, vain. Stuck one on. Simple past and past participle of stick one on. Stuck one's dick in crazy. Simple past and past participle of stick one's dick in crazy. Stuck one's foot in it. Simple past and past participle of stick one's foot in it. Stuck one's foot in one's mouth. Simple past and past participle of stick one's foot in one's mouth. Stuck one's head in the sand. Simple past and past participle of stick one's head in the sand. Stuck one's neck out. Simple past and past participle of stick one's neck out. Stuck one's nose into. Simple past and past participle of stick one's nose into. Stuck one's oar in. Simple past and past participle of stick one's oar in. Stuck one's tongue out. Simple past and past participle of stick one's tongue out. Stuck out. Simple past and past participle of stick out. Stuck out like a sore thumb. Simple past and past participle of stick out like a sore thumb. Stuck out like dog's balls. Simple past and past participle of stick out like dog's balls. Stuck pixel. A defective pixel on a LCD that lights up exclusively as one color. Stuck pixels, plural of stuck pixel. Stuck wrecker, a person who repeatedly says the same thing. Stuck records, plural of stuck record. Stuck someone on, simple past and past participle of stick on. Stuck the knife in, simple past and past participle of stick the knife in. Stuck the landing, simple past and past participle of stick the landing. Stuck to, simple past and past participle of stick to. Stuck to one's guns, simple past and past participle of stick to one's guns. Stuck to one's knitting, simple past and past participle of stick to one's knitting. Stuck to one's lass, simple past and past participle of stick to one's lass. Stuck to one's text, simple past and past participle of stick to one's text. Stuck to someone's ribs, simple past and past participle of stick to someone's ribs. Stuck together, simple past and past participle of stick together. Stuck twin syndrome, synonym of twin transfusion syndrome. Stuck up, snobbish, conceited, believing oneself to be better than others, usually because of abundant success, haughty, arrogant, or egotistical. Stuck up for, simple past and past participle of stick up for. Stuck with, simple past and past participle of stick with. Stuck up, alternative spelling of stuck up. A surname from German. Stucken, past participle of stick. Stuttenberg, a surname. Stutter, a surname. Stuckers, plural of stucker. Stucker, a surname from German. Stuckerts, plural of stuckert. Thus, plural of stuck. Stockas, second person singular simple past indicative of stick. Stucky, a surname from Old English. Stuckies, plural of stucky. Stockholder, a stockholder stuck with worthless or unsellable shares. Stockholders, plural of stockholder. Stucky, a surname. Stuckies, plural of stuck. Stuckism, an international art movement formed in 1999 by Billy Childish and Charles Thompson, opposing conceptual art in favor of figurative painting. Stuckus, a member of the Stuckism art movement. Stuckus, plural of stuckus. Stucca, a number of sheaves set together in the field, is stuck. Stockles, plural of stuckle. Stacqui, a surname. Stacquies, plural of stuckly. Stockiness, the state of being stuck in all senses. Thus, plural of stuck. Stucky, a surname. Stuckies, plural of stocky. Stuco, abbreviation of student council. A male animal, especially a stud horse stallion kept for breeding. Stud bolt, a bolt with a thread on each end, screwed into a fixed part at one end, receiving a nut upon the other. Stud bolts, plural of stud bolt. Stud book, In livestock breeding, a written record of the genealogy of animals. Stud books, plural of stud book. Stud farm, an establishment for selective breeding of livestock, especially horses. Stud farms, plural of stud farm. Stud finder, a handheld device used to determine the location of framing studs used in light frame construction after the walling surface has been installed. Stud finders, plural of stud finder. Stud horse, a stallion, a male horse kept as a stud. Stud horses, plural of stud horse. Stud mare, a brood mare. Stud mares, plural of stud mare. Stud mark, alternative form of stud mark. Stud marks, plural of stud mark. Stud muffin, a very attractive man. Stud muffins, plural of stud muffin. Stud poker, any of several versions of poker in which some cards are dealt face down and some face up. Stud puppies, plural of stud puppy. Stud puppy, a male dog considered to be of exceptional quality, henceforth registered and retained for breeding. Stud book, alternative form of stud book. Stud books, plural of stud book. Stud muffinly, resembling or characteristic of a stud muffin. Stud book, alternative form of stud book. Stud books, plural of stud book. Stodder, a surname. Stoddards, plural of stodder. Stodder, having studs. Studded tire, a tire with rubber that remains soft in sub-freezing conditions and equipped with metal studs pins to increase traction on ice by digging into it. Studded tires, plural of studded tire. Stutter, misspelling of stutter. Stutter, simple past and past participle of stutter. Stutteries, plural of stuttery. Stuttering, present participle and gerund of stutter. Stutters, plural of stutter. Stuttery, a stud or collection of breeding horses and mares. Studding, present participle and gerund of stud. Studding sail, alternative spelling of studding sail. Studding sails, plural of studding sail. Studding sail, alternative spelling of studding sail. Studdings, plural of studding. Studding sail, a sail attached to the side of another in a square-rigged ship in order to increase the speed of the vessel. Studding sails, plural of studding sail. Studdle, a prop supporting a platform in a mine. Studdled, simple past and past participle of studdle. Studdles, plural of studdle. Studdling, present participle and gerund of studdle. Study, obsolete spelling of study. A student. Studebaker, a surname from German. Studebakers, plural of Studebaker. Student, synonym of Coloditz. Studencies, plural of studency. Studency, the role or position of being a student. Studentensite, a monoclinic prismatic mineral containing boron, calcium, hydrogen, oxygen, and sodium. Studentkin, a translation alliteration of the Russian surname Studenkin. Student. Flipping of students. Student Affairs. The department or division of services and support for student success at institutions of higher education to enhance student growth and development. Student Athlete. Alternative form of student athlete. Student athletes. Plural of student athlete. Student bodies. Plural of student body. Student body. All the students' pupils enrolled at an educational institution. Student council. In elementary and secondary schools, an elected student body which mediates between students and staff and also organizes school-wide activities. Student councils. Plural of student council. Student driver. A person who has not yet earned a driver's license and until then is permitted to drive only a marked car with a licensed driving instructor in the passenger seat. Student drivers. Plural of student driver. Student ghetto. A residential area, for instance in a college town, that predominantly consists of rental housing for post-secondary students. Student ghettos. Plural of student ghetto. Student hour. Alternative letter case form of student hour. Student hour. A time-based unit of measurement used in American colleges and universities to track student educational attainment. Each unit represents approximately 12 hours of class or contact time with an instructor over the course of a semester. Student hours. Plural of student hour. Student hours. Plural of student hour. Student loan. A loan granted to a student in higher education to help pay for the tuition. Student loans. Plural of student loan. Student nation. Synonym of nation and association of students based on the birthplace or ethnicity of its members. Student nations. Plural of student nation. Student number. A code assigned to a student upon entering an educational institution and used to identify the student in official documents. Student numbers. Plural of student number. Student strikes. Plural of student strike. Student syndrome. The tendency not to apply oneself fully to a task until the last possible moment before a deadline. Student teacher. A teacher in training who is teaching classes under the supervision of a teacher or trainer. Student teachers. Plural of student teacher. Student union. Students' union UK spelling. Student unions. Plural of student union. Student voice. An educational philosophy which encourages student participation and engagement in the teaching and learning process, rather than having learning wholly guided by the educator. Students. Pertaining to students' t-test or students' t-distribution. Students' t. Ellipses of students' t-test. Students' t-distribution. A distribution that arises when the population standard deviation is unknown and has to be estimated from the data. Students' t-distributions. Plural of students' t-distribution. Students' t-tests. Any statistical hypothesis test in which the test statistic has a student's t-distribution if the null hypothesis is true. Students' t-tests. Plural of students' t-tests. Students' t-tests. Alternative form of students' t-test. Students' ES. Plural of students' t. Student athlete. A student who participates in a competitive sport while also attending school. Student athletes. Plural of student athlete. Studenties. Language characteristic or typical of a student. Studentess, a female student. Studentesses, plural of studentess. Studenthood, the state or quality of being a student. Studential, of, relating to, or befitting a student. Studentification, the changes caused by a large population of students moving into an area. Studentized, alternative form of studentized. Studentish, characteristic of a student. Studenty. Studentization, synonym of studentification. Studentize, to perform studentization on. Studentize, obtained using a student's t-test. Studentizes, third person singular simple present indicative of studentize. Studentizing, the use of a student's t-test. Studentless, having no students. Student-like, resembling or characteristic of a student. Studently, of, relating to, or characteristic of a student. Studentries, plural of studentry. Studentry, a body of students, students collectively. Students, plural of student. Students' Union, a student organization present in many colleges, universities, and high schools. In higher education, the Students' Union is often accorded its own building on the campus dedicated to social, organizational activities, and representation. Students' Unions, plural of Students' Union. Studentship, the position or role of a student. Studentships, plural of studentship. Studenty, of or pertaining to university students. Studer, a surname. Studerite, a varietal form of tenantite containing, as partial replacement of normal copper content, silver, lead, zinc, and iron. Studers, plural of studer. Stud, plural of stud. Studa, a sexually attractive, promiscuous female. Studettes, plural of studette. Stud farm, alternative form of stud farm. Stud farms, plural of stud farm. Istidae, any of several species of small American minnows of the genus Fungulus, such as Fungulus catenatus. Studishes, plural of studfish. Studigang, any gun which shoots studs a small object that protrudes from something. Studkans, plural of studcun. Studda, a village and civil parish in central Bedfordshire, Bedfordshire, England. OS Grid Ref TL 0215. Studholme, a civil parish of Kings County, New Brunswick, Canada. Studholme, a place name. Studhomes, plural of studhome. Studhorse, alternative form of stud horse. Stud horses, plural of stud horse. Studial, capable of being studied, fit for study. Studi, obsolete spelling of study. Study, simple past and past participle of study. Studied up on, simple past and past participle of study up on. Studively, thoughtfully, knowledgeably, deliberately, with premeditation. Studiedness, the quality of being is studied. Studist, second person singular simple past indicative of study. Study, one who studies. Studiers, plural of studier. Studies, plural of study. Studies abroad, plural of study abroad. Studies upon, third person singular simple present indicative of study up on. Second person singular simple present indicative of study. Studia, third person singular simple present indicative of study. Studio, an artist's or photographer's workshop or the room in which an artist works. Studio album, an album recorded in a studio. Studio albums. Plural of studio album. Studio apartment, a small apartment that combines a number of rooms, often the living room, bedroom, and kitchen, into a single room. Studio apartments, plural of studio apartment. Studio City, a neighborhood of the San Fernando Valley, Los Angeles, California, United States. Studio flat, studio apartment. Studio flats, plural of studio flat. Studio monitor, a loudspeaker specifically designed for audio production applications. Studio monitors, plural of studio monitor. Studio music, music recorded in a studio and later released on a record, CD, or other medium. Studio system, a method of filmmaking wherein the production and distribution of films is dominated by a small number of large movie studios, the majors. Studio full, an amount that fills a studio. Studioless, where a studio. Studio-like, resembling or characteristic of a studio. Studio, a study room. Studiomate, a studio coworker or companion. Studiomates, plural of studiomate. Studios, plural of studio. Studies, given to thought or to the examination of subjects by contemplation, contemplative. Studiously, in a studious manner. Studiousness, the state or quality of being studious. Studium generale, a school in which pedagogues with academic titles, doctors, magistry, professors, etc., could teach students from other countries and could offer licenses in multiple disciplines compared to studium particular. Historians often designate a school's recognition as a studium generale as one of the key characteristics of it being a university. Studless, without studs. Studley, a large village and civil parish in Stratford-on-Avon District, Warwickshire, England. OS Grid Ref SB 0763. Studleys, plural of Studley. Studley, comparative form of Studley, more Studley. Studleys, superlative form of Studley, most Studley. Stud-like, resembling or characteristic of a stud. Studliness, the characteristic of being studly. Studly, like a stud, being or relating to a sexually attractive male. Studly caps, synonym of upper camel case. Studly caps, alternative spelling of studly caps. Studmare, alternative form of stud mare. Studmares, plural of studmare. Stud mark, a mark in the form of a small surface indentation left by a stud. Stud marks, plural of stud mark. Studmaster, Someone who raises studs horses. Stud masters, plural of stud master. Stud muffin, alternative form of stud muffin. Stud muffins, plural of stud muffin. Stud, plural of stud. Studstill, a surname. Studstills, plural of studstill. A surname. Studstai, a secondary uranium mineral containing peroxide formed by the alpha radiolyses of water during formation. It occurs as white yellow needle-like crystals, often in acicular sprays. This plural of stut. Studware, upright timbers forming the framework of a wall. Studworks, plural of studwork. To study, to review materials already learned in order to make sure one does not forget them, usually in preparation for an examination. Study abroad, a program of study which is located in a different country than one's home or resident country. Study buddies, plural of study buddy. Study buddy, a schoolmate with whom schoolwork is completed, often somebody one sits next to in a classroom. Study center, a building or room reserved for self-study. Study centers, plural of study center. Study circle, a club or informal group of people sharing knowledge of a specific subject. Study circles, plural of study circle. Study group, a small group of people who meet regularly to discuss a shared field of study. Study groups, plural of study group. Study guide, a book or other resource intended to provide keynotes and concepts for people studying a particular topic or course. Study guides, plural of study guide. Study hall, a class period, usually in boarding school or high school, where students are afforded the time for independent study and homework assignments as part of the curriculum or after hours, the last notably as a punishment called detention. Study halls, plural of study hall. Study house, Beth Hamidrash. Study houses, plural of study house. Study leave, time off regular school given to students in order to study for exams. Study tour, a trip made for the purpose of study and / or carrying out research. Study tours, plural of study tour. Study up on, to thoroughly study a subject or become current in knowledge on a topic. Study out, alternative spelling of studyable. Studibler, the community of academic and studying-oriented blogs on Tumblr. Studiblers, plural of studibler. Studigram, the community of academic and studying-oriented accounts on Instagram. Studygrammar, an Instagrammer whose account focuses on studying and academia. Studygrammars, plural of studygrammar. Studygrams, plural of studygram. Say it. Pronunciation spelling of studying. Say it. The action of the verb to study. Study up on, present participle and gerund of study up on. Is, plural of studying. Study like, resembling or characteristic of a study room. Studies, misspelling of studies. Study doc, the community of academic and studying-oriented accounts on TikTok. Study 2, the community of academic and studying-oriented channels on YouTube. Study tuber, a YouTuber whose account focuses on studying and academia. Study tubers, plural of study tuber. Stuber, a surname. Studers, plural of Stuber. Thusi, a surname from German. Is, plural of Stuzi. Stutzeit, alternative form of Stutzeit. Stutzeits, plural of Stutzeit. Ithu, a surname. Stuvers, plural of Stuve. Istova, a funeral. Stuvi, plural of Stufa. Iba, miscellaneous items or objects with possessive personal effects. Stuff a sock in it, synonym of put a sock in it. Stuff hand nonsense, rubbish, foolishness, pop a cock. Stuff dreams are made of, something rare and wonderful. Stuff gown, synonym of stuff gownsman. Stuff gowns, plural of stuff gown. Stuff gownsman, a junior barrister. Stuff gownsman, plural of stuff gownsman. Is dovet, an expression of indifference or nonchalance. Stuff one's face, to eat excessively. Stuff out, to fill to overflowing. Stuff sack, a simple drawstring bag, often used for storing compressed sleeping bags. Stuff sacks, plural of stuff sack. Stuff the ballot box, to commit fraud in an election by depositing extra or otherwise illegitimate ballots into the container holding the ballots of voters in an attempt to secure victory for a particular candidate or outcome. Stuff up, to ruin or harm. Stuff you, used in place of fuck you. Stufferoni, alternative spelling of stufferoni. Stuff up, a mistake or fail. Stuff ups, plural of stuff up. Stuff upple, capable of being stuffed, suitable for stuffing. Stuffable diaper, synonym of pocket diaper. Stuffable diapers, plural of stuffable diaper. Stufferoni, manicotti stuffed mostly with meat. Iba, obsolete spelling of stuff. Itat, simple past and past participle of stuff. Stuffed animal, a soft toy in the form of an animal. Stuffed animals, plural of stuffed animal. Stuffed ham, corned or smoked ham stuffed with a seasoned mixture of chopped cabbage, kale, and onions, traditional in southern Maryland, United States. Stuffed hams, plural of stuffed ham. Stuffed like a turkey, very full from overeating. Stuffed one's face, simple past and past participle of stuff one's face. Stuffed out, simple past and past participle of stuff out. Stuffed shirt, one who is pompous or self-important, especially one who is either officious or punctilious in a position of authority. Stuffed shirts, plural of stuffed shirt. Stuffed the ballot box, simple past and past participle of stuffed the ballot box. Stuffed to the gills, completely full. Stuffed toy, synonym of soft toy. Stuffed toys, plural of stuffed toy. Stuffed up, locked, stuffy, congested. Stuffed shirt, alternative spelling of stuffed shirt. Stuffed shirts, plural of stuffed Sure. Stuffed up. Alternative spelling of stuffed up. Stuffedness. The quality of being stuffed. Stuffer. One who, or that which, stuffs. Stuffer fragment. A section of DNA contained within the genome of a vector that is replaced by the DNA to be cloned. Stuffer fragments. Plural of stuffer fragment. Stuffers. Plural of stuffer. It does. Third person singular simple present indicative of stuff. Stuffes. Second person singular simple present indicative of stuff. Stuffa. Third person singular simple present indicative of stuff. Itavi. A stuffed clam, typically quahog. Tdafi. Comparative form of stuffy, more stuffy. Stuffies. Plural of stuffy. Stuffis. Superlative form of stuffy, most stuffy. Stuffily. In a poorly ventilated and close manner. Stuthen. Pronunciation spelling of stuffing. Stuffiness. The state or quality of being angry and obstinate. Stuffinesses. Plural of stuffiness. Stuffing. Present participle and gerund of stuff. Stuffing box. An assembly containing a seal or sealing material around a shaft. Stuffing boxes. Plural of stuffing box. Stuffing cucumber. The kegua. Stuffing cucumbers. Plural of stuffing cucumber. Stuffing one's face. Present participle of stuff one's face. Stuffing out. Present participle and gerund of stuff out. Stuffing the ballot box. Present participle and gerund of stuff the ballot box. Stuffing up. Present participle and gerund of stuff up. Stuffing box. Alternative form of stuffing box. Stuffing boxes. Plural of stuffing box. Stuffings. Plural of stuffing. Stuffo. A surname. Stuffless. Without unnecessary things. It does. Plural of stuff. Stuffs one's face. Third person singular simple present indicative of stuff one's face. Stuffs out. Third person singular simple present indicative of stuff out. Stuffs the ballot box. Third person singular simple present indicative of stuff the ballot box. Stuffs up. Third person singular simple present indicative of stuff up. Itavi. Stout, mettlesome, resolute. Itbat. Acronym of ship taken up from trade, a civilian ship requisition for government use. Itbat. Simple past and past participle of stuff. Itbat. Plural of stuffs. Studmard. A surname. Stuvie. Stocky, stout. Ithua. A surname from German. Ithur. A surname. Ithuras. Plural of Stewart. Ithur. A diminutive of the male given name Stuart. Spillover. Styrer. Spillivers. Plural of Stewiver. The Junkers Ju-87, a Gullwing single-engine German dive bomber used in World War II. Stukas, plural of Stuka. Ither, Stucco. Stukae, a surname from Old English. Stukelis, plural of Stukeli. Isvuti, a surname. Stukis, plural of Stuki. Stucky. girlfriend. Studies, plural of stucky. Ida, a surname. Stellar, a surname. Stellars, plural of stellar. Idals, plural of stall. Isdome, a shaft, conduit, adit, or gallery to drain a mine. Isdomes, plural of stolm. Isdalp, a short stout post used for any purpose, such as the marking of a boundary. Stolpacani, a village and commune of Suceava County, Romania. Stalbus, plural of stalb. Idat, to choke off, to arrest, to deprive of strength or efficacy. Stalte, simple past and past participle of stult. Stultification, the process of stultifying. Stultifications, plural of stultification. Stultify, simple past and past participle of stultify. Stultifier, one who stultifies. Stultifiers, plural of stultifier. Stultifies, third person singular simple present indicative of stultify. Stultify, to stunt, inhibit progress, ideas, etc., or make dull and uninteresting, especially through routine that is overly restrictive or limiting. Stultifying, present participle and gerund of stultify. Stultifyingly, in a stultifying manner. Stultiloquent, silly talk, babble. Stultiloquent, given to or characterized by silly talk, babbling. Stultiloquently, in a stultiloquent manner. Stultiloquies, plural of stultiloquy. Stultiloquy, foolish talk, babble. Stulting, present participle and gerund of stult. Adults, third person singular simple present indicative of stult. Stulty, foolish, silly, stupid. Adults, a surname. Stultzes, plural of stults. Dda, a surname from Dutch. Stumba, a surname. Stummas, plural of stumba. Stumble, a fall, trip, or substantial misstep. Stumble across, to discover or find something by accident. Stumble against, to discover or find something by accident. Stumble into, to begin a course of action by accident while intending to do something else. Stumble on, used other than figuratively or idiomatically, see stumble on. Stumble onto, synonym of stumble on, to discover or find something by accident. Stumble upon, to meet somebody by chance. Stumble drunk, so drunk that one is clumsy and stumbling. Stumble drunks, plural of stumble drunk. Stumblebum, a blundering or awkward person. Stumblebums, plural of stumblebum. Stumbled, simple past and past participle of stumble. Stumbled across, simple past and past participle of stumble across. Stumbled against, simple past and past participle of stumble against. Stumbled into, simple past and past participle of stumble into. Stumbled on, simple past and past participle of stumble on. Stumbled onto, Simple past and past participle of stumble onto. Stumbled upon. Simple past and past participle of stumble upon. Stumble drunk. Alternative form of stumble drunk. Stumble drunks. Plural of stumble drunk. Stumbler. One who stumbles. Stumblers. Plural of stumbler. Stumbles. Plural of stumble. Stumbles across. Third person singular simple present indicative of stumble across. Stumbles against. Third person singular simple present indicative of stumble against. Stumbles into. Third person singular simple present indicative of stumble into. Stumbles on. Third person singular simple present indicative of stumble on. Stumbles onto. Third person singular simple present indicative of stumble onto. Stumbles upon. Third person singular simple present indicative of stumble upon. Stumblesome. Characterized or marked by stumbling. Stumbleless. Second person singular simple present indicative of stumble. Stumble. Third person singular simple present indicative of stumble. Stumbler. Comparative form of stumbly, more stumbly. Stumblest. Superlative form of stumbly, most stumbly. Stumbling. Pronunciation spelling of stumbling. Stumbling. Present participle and gerund of stumble. Stumbling across. Present participle and gerund of stumble across. Stumbling against. Present participle and gerund of stumble against. Stumbling block. A hindrance, obstacle, or impediment, an opportunity for error. Stumbling block. Obsolete form of stumbling block. Stumbling blocks. Plural of stumbling block. Stumbling into. Present participle and gerund of stumble into. Stumbling on. Present participle and gerund of stumble on. Stumbling onto. Present participle and gerund of stumble onto. Stumbling stone. A stumbling block. Stumbling stones. Plural of stumbling stone. Stumbling upon. Present participle and gerund of stumble upon. Stumbling block. Alternative form of stumbling block. Stumbling blocks. Plural of stumbling block. Stumbling stone. Alternative spelling of stumbling stone. Stumbling stones. Plural of stumbling stone. Stumbling block. An obstacle, a difficulty. Stumbling blocks. Plural of stumbling block. Stumblingly. In a stumbling way. Unsteadily, haltingly. Stumblings. Plural of stumbling. Stumbling stone. Alternative spelling of stumbling stone. Stumbling stones. Plural of stumbling stone. Stumbly. Prone to stumble. Stumbo. A surname. Stumbos. Plural of stumbo. Stumer. Something worthless or counterfeit. Stumers. Plural of stumer. Is dumb. Simple past and past participle of stum. Stummel. The bowl and stem of a smoker's pipe. Stummels. Plural of stummel. Stomach. I dialect spelling of stomach. Stomachs. Plural of stomach. Stummies. plural of stomach. Stomach, present participle and gerund of stum. Stomach, stomach, tummy, stub, a surname. Stump and rump, alternative form of rump and stump. Stump cam, synonym of stump camera. Stump camera, a small television camera embedded inside one of the stumps intended to give a shot of the action as seen by the batsman. Stump cameras, plural of stump camera. Stump cams, plural of stump cam. Stump cutter, synonym of stump grinder. Stump cutters, plural of stump cutter. Stump detective, a forestry official charged with measuring waste in logging operations. Stump detectives, plural of stump detective. Stump dump, a landfill site consisting of wood waste, such as tree stumps. Stump dumps, plural of stump dump. Stump grinder, a piece of heavy equipment that removes tree stumps by means of a rotating cutting disc that chips away the wood. Stump grinders, plural of stump grinder. Stump it, to go on foot, hence to run away, to escape. Stump orator, a politician who will speak from any available soapbox about any issue that comes up. Stump orators, plural of stump orator. Stump out, to put a player out by knocking down the stump or wicket. Stump powder, explosive powder used for blasting tree stumps when clearing land. Stump powders, plural of stump powder. Stump speech, a standard speech by a politician running for office. Stump speeches, plural of stump speech. Stump tracery, a form of late German Gothic tracery in which the molded bar seems to pass through itself in its convolutions and is then cut off short so that a section of the molding is seen at the end of each similar stump. Stump out, to pay for something, often with reluctance. Stump cam, alternative form of stump cam. Stump cams, plural of stump cam. Stump-tailed macaque, Macaca arctoides, a species of macaque that is native to South Asia and Southeast Asia. Stump water, stagnant water from a hollow in a rotting tree stump. Stump age, trees and other standing timber, treated as a commodity. Stump ages, plural of stump age. Stump cam, alternative form of stump cam. Stump cams, plural of stump cam. Stumped, perplexed, confused. Stumped it, simple past and past participle of stumped. Stumped out, simple past and past participle of stump out. Stumped up, simple past and past participle of stump up. Stumped, second person singular simple past indicative of stump. Stomper, one who stumps or speaks or orates as a politician. Stumperies, plural of stumpery. Stumbers, plural of stumper. Stumbery, a garden feature similar to a rockery but made from parts of dead trees, especially stumps. Stumpest, second person singular simple present indicative of stump. Stumpa, third person singular simple present indicative of stump. Stumpf, a surname. Stumpf, a surname from German. Stumpus, plural of stump. Stump light, a hexagonal dihexagonal dipyramidal silver white mineral containing antimony, bismuth, and platinum. Jdam, a surname. Stump hole, a hole in the ground left when a tree stump is removed. Stump holes, plural of stump hole. Stums, plural of stump. Stump high, a Manx cat with a short stump of a tail. Stumpy, comparative form of stumpy, more stumpy. Stumpies, plural of stumpy. Stumpiate, superlative form of stumpy, most stumpy. Stumpify, simple past and past participle of stumpify. Stumpifies, third person singular simple present indicative of stumpify. Stumpify, to turn into a stump. Stumpifying, present participle and gerund of stumpify. Stumpily, in a stumpy way. Stumpiness, the quality of being stumpy. Stumping, present participle and gerund of stump. Stumping it, present participle and gerund of stump it. Stumping out, present participle and gerund of stump out. Stumping up, present participle and gerund of stump up. Stumpings, plural of stumping. Stumpish, resembling or characteristic of a stump, short and cut off. Stumpitis, the inflammation of a stump, especially of the residual appendix after a partial appendectomy. Stumpknocker, a sunfish of the genus Lepomis. Stumpland, terrain having stumps of trees as a dominant feature. Stumplands, plural of stumpland. Stumpless, without stumps. Stump-like, resembling a stump. Stumbling, a little stump. Stumplings, plural of stumpling. Stumped nose, any of several sea breams of the genus Rhabdus argus. Stumped noses, plural of stump nose. Stumpus, plural of stump. Stumpsid, third person singular simple present indicative of stumpet. Stumps out, third person singular simple present indicative of stump out. Stumps up, third person singular simple present indicative of stump up. Stumptho, an Australian lizard, Tiliqua rugosa, that has a stumpy tail. Stumptilled, that has a stumpy tail. Stumpthills, plural of stumpto. Stumper, a style of embroidery where the stitch figures are raised from the surface of the work to produce a three-dimensional effect. Stumpy, ellipsis of Australian stumpy tail cattle dog. Ithums, plural of stum. Eton, to incapacitate, especially by inducing disorientation or unconsciousness. Stun grenade, flashbang. Stun grenades, plural of stun grenade. Stun gun, a weapon intended to immobilize, usually through delivery of an electric shock. Stun guns, plural of stun gun. Stun saw, synonym of studding sail. Stun gun, to shoot with a stun gun. Stun gunned, simple past and past participle of stun gun. Stun gunning, present participle and gerund of stun gun. Stun guns, Third person singular simple present indicative of stungun. Stunad. Alternative form of stunad. Stunads. Plural of stunad. Stundism. The beliefs and practices of the Stundists. Stundes, a member of a large sect of Russian radical Protestant dissenters founded near Odessa around 1860, who adhere to a literal reading of the Bible and reject priestly dominion and all external rites of worship, influenced by German Protestant settlers. Stundists, plural of Stundis. Idar, simple past and past participle of sting. Stumtrang, a province of Cambodia. Thark, simple past and past participle of stink. Stunk a buzzard off a gut wagon. Past participle of stink a buzzard off a gut wagon. Stunk a dog off a gut wagon. Past participle of stink a dog off a gut wagon. Stunk a skunk off a gut wagon. Past participle of stink a skunk off a gut wagon. Stunk like a mackerel. Past participle of stink like a mackerel. Stunk like a polecat. Past participle of stink like a polecat. Stunk on ice. Past participle of stink on ice. Stunk out. Past participle of stink out. Stunk to high heaven. Simple past and past participle of stink to high heaven. Stunk up. Simple past and past participle of stink up. Stunker, a surname. Stumma, to render a character unable to move or react by repeatedly hitting them and keeping them in a stunned state. Stunlocked, simple past and past participle of stunlock. Stunlocking, present participle and gerund of stunlock. Stunlocks, third person singular simple present indicative of stunlock. Stunna, alternative form of stunner, a woman of stunning beauty. Stunnohol, able to be stunned. Stunnas, plural of stunna. Athan, unable to act or respond. Dazed, shocked. Stunner, anything that is stunning. Stunners, plural of stunner. Stunning, having an effect that stuns. Stunning and brave, used to express disrespect, in particular to suggest someone, especially a transgender person or something, has been promoted as good but is actually bad. Stunningly, so as to stun or amaze. Stunningness, quality of being stunning. Stunnings, plural of stunning. Still not, stupid or crazy, out of touch with reality. Stunods, plural of stunod. Stunpal, bonehead, stupid person. Stunpals, plural of stunpal. Stunrod, a baton that delivers an electric shock upon striking someone or something. Stunrods, plural of stunrod. Ethons, plural of stun. Stun sail, studding sail. Stun sails, plural of stun sail. Stun sail, alternative form of stun sail. Stun souls, plural of stun soul. Stun sail, alternative form of stun sail. Stun souls, plural of stunsel. A daring or dangerous feat, often involving the display of gymnastic skills. Stunt casting, the hiring of a well-known star to play a small role so as to generate media or studio attention. Stunt cock, a phallus used to sub in for a pornographic actor's actual penis, either another man's or a realistic facsimile. Stunt cocks, plural of stunt cock. Stunt double, a type of body double, a skilled stand-in used for dangerous film or video sequences such as jumping out of a building, leaping from vehicle to vehicle, and fight sequences. Stunt doubles, plural of stunt double. Stuntman, alternative form of stuntman. Stuntman, plural of stuntman. Stuntwoman, alternative form of stuntwoman. Stuntwomen, plural of stuntwoman. Stunted, simple past and past participle of stunned. Stuntively, in a stunted fashion. Stuntedness, the quality of being stunted or what. Stunter, one who performs stunts, a stuntman or stuntwoman. Stunters, plural of stunter. Stunta, third person singular simple present indicative of stunt. Stuntfest, an event, film, etc. where many stunts are performed. Stuntfists, plural of stuntfists. Stuntiness, the quality of being stunty. Stunting, present participle and gerund of stunt. Stuntings, plural of stunting. Stuntish, obstinate, sullen. Stunt-like, resembling or characteristic of a stunt. Stuntman, in films, someone who performs stunts that are deemed too dangerous or physically difficult for the main actors to attempt. Stuntman, plural of stuntman. Stuntiness, the quality of being stunted, brevity. Stunt people, plural of stunt person. Stunt person, a stuntman or stuntwoman. A person who performs stunts for films. Stunt persons, plural of stunt person. Adamus, plural of stunt. Stuntwoman, a woman who performs stunts. Stuntwomen, plural of stuntwoman. Stunter, the performance of stunts. Stunted, tending to stunt or be stunted. Stova, a dome-shaped Buddhist monument used to house relics of the Lord Buddha. Stodpa, a surname from Ukrainian. Stopas, plural of stupa. Stupali, resembling or characteristic of a stupa. Stobas, plural of stupa. A stupid person or rarely thing. Ut, simple past and past participle of stu. Stupefacient, inducing stupor or drowsiness with a drug such as a narcotic or an anesthetic. Stupefacients, plural of stupefacient. Stupefaction, the state of extreme shock or astonishment. Stupefactions, plural of stupefaction. Stupefactive, inducing stupor, making drowsy, stupefacient. Stupefaction, the act or result of stupefying. Stupefacations, plural of stupefaction. Stupefy, simple past and past participle of stupefy. Stupefiedness, the quality of being stupid. Stupefier, someone or something that stupefies. Stupefiers, plural of stupefier. Stupefies, Third person singular simple present indicative of stupefy. Stupefy, to dull the senses or capacity to think, thereby reducing responsiveness, to stun. Stupefying, present participle and gerund of stupefy. Stupefyingly, in a stupefying manner. Stupend, stupendous, stupendious, stupendous, stupendosity, stupendousness, stupendous, astonishingly great or large, huge, enormous, stupendously, in a stupendous manner, stupendousness, the state, condition, or quality of being stupendous. Stupendous, plural of stupendousness. Stupend, struck with stupor, stunned. Stupious, alternative form of stupos. Idubus, plural of stoop. Stupid, without intelligence. Stupid drunk, intoxicated and acting in a foolish manner. Stupid is as stupid does. Stupid behavior indicates stupidity. Stupid o'clock, a time of day, usually during the night or early in the morning, considered unreasonable or when one is prone to poor judgment. Stupid tax, money spent on gambling, such as sports betting or lotteries. Stupid taxes, plural of stupid tax. Stupid ass, alternative spelling of stupid ass. Stupid asses, plural of stupid ass. Stupid head, a stupid person. Stupid heads, plural of stupid head. Stupid ass, very stupid. Stupid asses, plural of stupid ass. Stupider, comparative form of stupid, more stupid. Stupidest, superlative form of stupid, most stupid. Stupidifuck, an exceptionally stupid person. Stupidifuck, plural of stupid fuck. Stupid head, alternative form of stupid head. Stupid heads, plural of stupid head. Stupidices, plural of stupidacy. Stupidacy, stupidity. Stupides, plural of stupidity. Stupidification, the act or process of making stupider. Stupidify, simple past and past participle of stupidify. Stupidifies, third person singular simple present indicative of stupidify. Stupidify, to make stupider or promote stupidity. Stupidifying, present participle and gerund of stupidify. Stupidish, quite stupid, somewhat stupid. Stupidism, a stupid utterance, act, or process. Stupidisms, plural of stupidism. Stupidite, alternative form of stupidity. Stupidities, plural of stupidity. Stupidity, an act that is stupid. Stupidity tax, synonym of dumb tax and national lottery. Stupidity taxes, plural of stupidity tax. Stupidly, in a stupid manner. Stupidness, the quality or state of being stupid. Stupidnesses, plural of stupidness. Stupids, plural of stupid. Stupidship, an instance or quality of something stupid. Stupidstitious, having superstitions that are especially stupid or being stupid enough to believe superstitions. Stupidity, stupid. Stupefaction, alternative form of stupefaction. Stupefacations, plural of stupefaction. Stupefy, alternative spelling of stupefy. Stupefies, third person singular simple present indicative of stupefy. Stupefy, alternative form of stupefy. Stupefying, present participle and gerund of stupefy. Stooping, present participle and gerund of stoop. Stoop line, resulting in the simultaneous experience of astonishment and boredom. Stuplimity, the quality of being is stupline. Stupnik, a municipality of Croatia. Studer, a state of greatly dulled or completely suspended consciousness or sensibility, particularly medicine, a chiefly mental condition marked by absence of spontaneous movement, greatly diminished responsiveness to stimulation, and usually impaired consciousness. Stuber mundi, a wonder of the world. Studer, simple past and past participle of stupor. Stubering, present participle and gerund of stupor. Stuberli, resembling or characteristic of a stupor. Stuporos, synonym of stuporous. Stuporous, having slow or confused reactions as if in a stupor, groggy. Stuporously, in a stuporous manner. Stuporousness, the state or quality of being stuporous. Stupors, plural of stupor. Stubos, composed of or having tufted or matted filaments like tow. Studer, obsolete spelling of stupor. Stupors, plural of stupor. Stupor, a surname. Stupra, plural of stuprum. Stupray, to ravish, to debauch. Stuprated, simple past and past participle of stuprate. Stuprates, third person singular simple present indicative of stuprate. Stuprating, present participle and gerund of stuprate. Stupration, stuprations, plural of stupration. Stupras, filthy, dirty, debauched. Stuprum, stupulos, finely stupos. Tvor, alternative spelling of stir. Sturtlefish, a fish that is a cross between a Russian sturgeon and an American paddlefish. Sturdivant, a surname. Sturdivants, plural of sturdivant. Sturdy, having the disease called sturdy. Sturdic, comparative form of sturdy, more sturdy. Sturdiest, superlative form of sturdy, most sturdy. Sturdily, in a sturdy manner. Sturdiness, the state or quality of being sturdy. Sturdinesses, plural of sturdiness. Sturdivant, a surname. Sturdivants, plural of sturdivant. Sturdy, a surname from Middle English. Sturdy beggar, a person who was fit and able to work, but lived as a beggar or vagrant instead. Sturdy beggars, plural of sturdy beggar. Sturdies, plural of sturdy. A surname. Sturge-Weber syndrome, a rare type of angiophycomatosis characterized by abnormal blood vessels on the surface of the brain and often associated with port wine stains of the face, glaucoma, seizures, mental retardation, and ipsilateral leptomeningeal angioma. Sturdow, a surname. Sturgials, plural of Sturgill. Sturgeon, a surname. Sturgeon Bay, a bay city and town in Door County, Wisconsin, United States. The city is the county's seat. Sturgeon County, a municipal district of Alberta, Canada, Centre, Morinville. Sturgeon Moon, a full moon in August. Sturgeon Moons, plural of sturgeon moon. Sturgeon's Law, the humorous remark attributed to science fiction author Theodore Sturgeon that 90% of everything is crap. Sturgeonite, a political supporter of Nicola Sturgeon, born 1980, Scottish politician who served as First Minister from 2014 to 2023. Sturgeon-like, resembling or characteristic of a sturgeon. Sturgeons, plural of sturgeon. Sturgis, a surname. Sturgis, a surname. Sturgesses, plural of Sturgis. Stereo, a surname. Stereals, plural of Sterial. Sturgis, a surname from Old Norse. Sturgises, plural of Sturgis. Strionian, Sturgeon. Strionians, plural of Styrionian. Thar, dated form of Sturk. Sturkey, a surname. Sturkeys, plural of Sturkey. Eberks, plural of Stur. Stura, a male given name from Icelandic. Stur, a surname from German. Sturm and Drang, alternative form of Sturm und Drang. Sturm and Drang, alternative form of Sturm und Drang. Sturm sequence, for some univariate polynomial P, a sequence of polynomials associated with P and its derivative by a variate of Euclid's algorithm for polynomials. Sturm sequences, plural of Sturm sequence. Sturm und Drang, a proto-romantic movement in German literature and music which occurred from the late 1760s to the early 1780s, emphasizing individual subjectivity and the free expression of emotions. Sturm's theorem, a theorem expressing the number of distinct real roots of P located in an interval in terms of the number of changes of signs of the values of the Sturm sequence at the bounds of the interval. Applied to the interval of all the real numbers, it gives the total number of real roots of P. Sturm-Liouville equation, a real second-order linear differential equation expressed in Sturm-Liouville form. Sturm-Liouville form, the form of a real differential equation expressed as Sturm-Liouville theories, plural of Sturm-Liouville theory. Sturm-Liouville theory, the study of real second-order linear differential equations expressed in Sturm-Liouville form. Sturmabteilung, a paramilitary division under the German Nazi Party, operating from 1921 until being disbanded in 1934. Sturman, a surname. Sturmanni, a trigonal-to-trigonal pyramidal mineral containing aluminum, boron, calcium, hydrogen, iron, manganese, oxygen, and sulfur. Sturmans, plural of Sturman. Sturwer, a village and civil parish in Braintree District, Essex, England. OS Grid Ref TL 6900. 44. Sturmy, a surname from Old French. Sturmies, plural of Sturmy. Sturmien, of or relating to Jacques-Charles François Sturm, 1803–1855, French mathematician. Sturminster Marshall, a village and civil parish in East Dorset, England. OS grid ref SY 9499. Sturminster Newton, a town and civil parish with a town council in North Dorset, England. OS grid ref ST 7814. Sturms, plural of Sturm. Sturmbogel, the ground attack version of the WW2 Messerschmitt Me 262 jet fighter. Sturmbogels, plural of Sturmbogel. Sternin, any bird in the family Sternidae, a myna or starling. Sternids, plural of sternid. Sturmoi, belonging to the starlings. Stir, simple past and past participle of stir. Stirred, a surname. Stirring, present participle and gerund of stir. Sturrock, a surname. Sturrocks, plural of Sturrock. Sturry, a village and civil parish in Canterbury District, Kent, England. OS grid ref TR 1760. Sturs, third person singular simple present indicative of stir. Star, a surname. Sturt's Desert Pea, a wildflower endemic to Australia, Swainsona formosa, known for its distinctive blood red leaf-like flowers, each with a bulbous black center. Sturta, simple past and past participle of sturt. Sturtaben, a surname. Sturtevants, plural of Sturtevant. Sturting, present participle and gerund of sturt. Sturtite, an amorphous black mineral containing calcium, hydrogen, iron, magnesium, manganese, oxygen, and silicon. Sturton by Stow, a village and civil parish in West Lindsey District, Lincolnshire, England. OS grid ref SK 8980. Sturtonless Steeple, a village and civil parish in Bassetlaw District, Nottinghamshire, England. OS grid ref SK 7884. Ithurs, plural of stir. Ithurs, a surname. Sturtses, plural of sturts. Sturstrom, a rock avalanche, a large land out of soil and rock which travels a much greater horizontal than vertical distance. Sturstrom, plural of Sturstrom. Sturstroms, plural of Sturstrom. Stus, plural of stew. Idash, posh, classy, or stylish. Idari, a commotion. Stais, plural of stashi. Eras, a card game, a variant of Pharaoh. Eva, to support, prop up. Stürtensee, a town in Karlsruhe District, Baden-Württemberg, Germany. Studesman, a surname. Studesmans, plural of Studesman. Studa, a surname from Norman. Studavilles, plural of Studeville. Stutler, a surname. Stutlers, plural of Stutler. That is third person singular simple present indicative of Stut. Stutzman, a surname from German. Stutzman County, one of 53 counties in North Dakota, United States. County seat, Jamestown. Stutzmans, plural of Stutzman. Stutifer, a surname. Stutted. Simple past and past participle of stut. Stutter. To speak words with a spasmodic repetition of vocal sounds. Stutter edit. An audio manipulation in which fragments of sound are repeated at rhythmic intervals, used, for example, in trance music. Stutter edits. Plural of stutter edit. Stutter gun. A machine gun, particularly the Thompson or similar. Stutter guns. Plural of stutter gun. Stutter. Simple past and past participle of stutter. Stutterer. One who stutters, one who speaks with a stutter. Stutterers. Plural of stutterer. Stuttering. A speech disorder in which the flow of speech is disrupted by involuntary repetitions and prolongations of sounds, syllables, words or phrases, and by involuntary silent pauses or blocks in which the stutterer is unable to produce sounds. Stutteringly. In a stuttering manner. Stutterings. Plural of stuttering. Stutters. Plural of stutter. Stuttery. Tending to stutter. Stuttgart. Obsolete spelling of Stuttgart. Stuttgart. Obsolete spelling of Stuttgart. Stuttgart. The largest city and state capital of Baden-Württemberg, Germany. Stuttgarter. A native or inhabitant of the city of Stuttgart, capital of Baden-Württemberg, Germany. Stuttgarters. Plural of Stuttgarter. Stutting. Present participle and gerund of stut. Stuthe. A village in Stutton-cum-Haswood Parish, Selby District, North Yorkshire, England. OS Grid Ref SC 4741. Stutz Bearcat. An American-made sports car, originally manufactured in the 1910s and 1920s. Stutzite. A particular silver telluride mineral. Stutzman. A surname. Stutzmans. Plural of Stutzman. Stupe. Elongated form of stupe. STUE. Initialism of single transferable vote. STUE. Plural of STV. Synthesiao. Initialism of Straßenverkehr soll schon zornen, literally a reference to German traffic code, but frequently used to refer to vehicle light marketing outside Germany. SY. Abbreviation of Staway. SYs. Plural of SY. AX. Pseudo acronym of St. Cross, i.e. St. Cross College, Oxford. Thigh. A pen or enclosure for swine. Style. A village and civil parish in Cheshire East District, Cheshire, England. OS Grid Ref SJ 8383. Staiga. An Anglo-Saxon copper coin of little value, used in Northumbria. Staigas. Plural of staika. Steicherin. A triacid alcohol related to glycerin and obtained from certain styryl derivatives as a yellow, gummy, amorphous substance, phenyl glycerin. Steichomythia. Alternative spelling of Stichomythia. Sedia. The ship of characters Styles Stilinski and Lydia Martin from the television series Teen Wolf. Sty. A bacterial infection in Yeleshwar Isle. Sty. Enclosed in a sty. Stylid. Any tunicate in the family Stylidae. Stylids. Plural of stylid. Styan. Stone. Styer. A surname. Styers. Plural of styer. Styes. plural of sty. Sty, or relating to a sty. Sty seat, alternative form of sty seeked. Stifle, enough to fill a sty. Stifles, plural of stifle. Styzete, paralysis of cattle or sheep, having various possible causes such as crotalaria poisoning. Stygel, Stygian, of, by or relating to the river Styx in Greek mythology. Stygians, plural of Stygian. Stygian, any organism that lives in permanent darkness, typically in deep caves. Stygians, plural of Stygian. Stygophobia, the fear of hell. Stygmergetic, describing methods of indirect communication between organisms by modification of the environment. Stygmergic, misspelling of stigmergic. Stygo, dark and damp like the underworld. Stygobiat, synonym of stygobitic. Stygobiantic, alternative form of stygobitic. Stygobiants, plural of stygobiant. Stygobiatic, alternative form of stygobitic. Stygobite, an instance of stygofauna as stygobiont. Stygobites, plural of stygobite. Stygobitic, living exclusively in groundwater, such as aquifers or caves. Stygofauna, any fauna that live within groundwater systems, such as caves and aquifers, particularly the small, aquatic groundwater invertebrates. Stygofaunal, relating to stygofauna. Stygophile, a stygofauna that inhabits both surface and subterranean aquatic environments. Stygophiles, plural of stygophile. Stygophilic, relating to stygophiles. Stying, present participle and gerund of sty. Stylable, capable of being styled. Stylalgia, synonym of Eagle syndrome. Styler, of or pertaining to a stylus. Stylaster, any of the genus Stylaster of calcareous hydroid corals. Stylasterid, any hydrozoan of the family Stylasteridae. Stylasterids, plural of stylasterid. Stylasterine, any hydrozoan of the order Stylasterina. Stylasters, plural of stylaster. Stylate, like a style, styloform. Style, senses relating to a thin, pointed object. Style brisé, an irregular arpeggiated texture in Baroque music. Style guide, a set of standards for design and writing of documents, either for general use or for a specific publication or organization, including standards on typography, grammar, or punctuation. Style guides, plural of style guide. Style it out, to appear confident. Style manual, a large style guide that constitutes an entire manual, whether online, in print, or both. Style manuals, plural of style manual. Style of cause, the case title for a cause of action or law.